This video is simply about what do we say when we open up the conversation with a potential seller. Now, the listing could have been referred to you by a mutual friend and they just call you out of the blue. Or there's a third-party company that, advisor has sent, the information and the seller calls you directly. Although it could be somebody that you heard at a soccer game, a child soccer game, because it's happened to me, where I heard them talking about they were moving to Baltimore out of the Midwest. And I thought, well, they know I'm a realtor and they didn't ask me to do an analysis for them. So I wanted to see how I can get introduced to them, specifically about the move. I already knew them. Their child was on my child's soccer team, and I wanted to get the opportunity, obviously, to go on that listing presentation. By the way, they were going to go back with their agent they had for last summer when their house was in the market, and their job fell through. But this time they're going to go back with that agent. And I was able to get the opportunity to have the presentation and get the referral fee in the destination city, as well as list the property in the departure city, using this phraseology we're going to go through. So I'm just going to give you what I'd call the intro to the initial call to seller script. Hello, this is Brian Kelsey. I was calling or following up, as I understand you are considering moving. I'm calling to gather just a little bit more information so I could do a thorough analysis on your property. Do you have a few minutes to answer some questions? A simple intro like that, again, you heard me ask, what, 1, 2, or 3 questions just in the opening right there. It's so important that we're asking questions all the time. We want to answer none. We want to be in control of the conversation. If you find yourself having to answer questions, for example, do you sell in this area, Brian? Bad question. What's your days in the market, Brian? Bad question. Because what's the relevance on it? We'll get into objections later and things like that. But what we want to do is make sure that we're asking questions in every phase. In fact, I have a challenge for you. On your initial contact with seller, how many questions do you ask? Do you ask just fact-finding questions, or do you ask about motivation questions? Anyways, set that aside, but look at that and just make sure you have your intro that's down, where you could do the same every single time, but you're asking 1 to 2, 3 questions just in the opening. All right, let's